Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Ministry Moment over this first week of June. I can't believe that it's June, June already. This morning in my own personal Bible reading, I read through the book of Ruth. The book of Ruth is one of my favorite books. There's a whole host of reasons why that is the case, but today, I think the reason it's one of my favorites is that it just is such a book of such surprising grace, where God gives us so much more than we can ask or imagine. The story starts with Naomi, who is an Israelite who moves with her husband, her two sons, to the land of Moab when there's a famine in Israel. One of her sons marries a local woman from Moab by the name of Ruth. A series of disasters takes place, and Naomi's husband and sons both die, and when it is time for her to head back, then she goes the only way for her to go forward is to move back with her family. And so she heads back to Israel, and Ruth begs to come with her. Naomi tries to dissuade her to send her back to her own people, but Ruth will have nothing of it. She wants to stick with Naomi. And she goes, and she becomes an incredible part of that family for Naomi. Through a whole series of things, Ruth then finds a husband who is in the Redeemer family, so they're distantly related, and he takes her on and looks after both Ruth and Naomi as family from that point on. It's a beautiful story of being able to start anew. It's a beautiful story because Moab was an enemy of Israel, and Ruth is coming from this enemy nation, yet is able to be a whole part of that family. Again, a new start. But I think the part that struck me again today as just that extra grace that God gives beyond we can ask or imagine is the very last few verses of the book, which is a genealogy. We often skip those, right, when we're reading through the Bible, but the genealogy is the list of names of who gave birth to who, who's related to who, often have some pretty hidden gems. And one of them is the fact that we find out that Ruth, this person from Moab, this person who had such tragedy, who her faithfulness to God is rewarded in her own life, but also we find out that she ends up being the great-grandmother of King David. And of course, King David is very far back on the line of family for Jesus. That this woman who had lost everything and then found everything again in God gets more than she could ask or imagine. She's in the line of God's own Son. When we turn to God, He promises He will always be there waiting for us, always ready to give us the grace that He has in this life and in times to come in ways that we couldn't even possibly choose or think or imagine to ask for. And I absolutely love that reminder in the book of Ruth. Take care, my friends. God bless. I'll see you again next week.